Ethan Blake squinted against the twin suns of Zithera. The landscape stretched wide and dry, a mixture of orange sands and jagged rocks, with smoke rising in the distance from battles that had long been fought. Humans had arrived on this planet only a month ago, sent to assess the damage left behind by alien invaders. The war had mostly ended, but the echoes of it were everywhere. Burned-out vehicles, shattered buildings, and the occasional motionless figure lying on the ground. Ethan's boots crunched on the gravel as he moved toward the base's perimeter. The humans had set up a small camp here, their walls made of reinforced metal plates scavenged from old ships. The base was simple but functional. Soldiers and engineers moved quickly, repairing vehicles and tending to supplies. The hum of machinery filled the air, a constant reminder that humans, even in foreign places, always work to survive and adapt. As Ethan reached the gate, something unusual caught his eye. A figure staggered out from behind a cluster of rocks, moving slowly toward the base. At first, Ethan thought it might be a survivor, maybe another human who had been stranded during the fighting. But as the figure drew closer, he realized it was unlike anything he had ever seen. The alien was small, no taller than Ethan's waist, with thin, spindly arms and legs. Its skin was pale green and slightly translucent, and its large black eyes reflected fear and exhaustion. Its movements were jerky, as if every step was painful. Ethan instinctively reached for his sidearm, though he kept it lowered. Something about the creature's behavior did not feel hostile. "Hey!" Ethan called. "Stop right there!" The alien froze for a moment, then fell to its knees. It raised its arms as if surrendering. Ethan signaled to two soldiers nearby. "Hold your fire," he said, stepping forward cautiously. The alien gasped, its voice a strange, chittering sound that somehow translated in Ethan's helmet translator. "Humans, humans," it whispered, trembling. "Strong, too strong, do not fight." Ethan exchanged a glance with one of the soldiers, Lieutenant Sarah Hill, who had been assigned to security. "What does it mean?" she asked quietly. "I don't know yet," Ethan admitted. He crouched a few feet away from the creature, keeping his hand near his sidearm but relaxed. "We need to get it inside the base, slowly, calmly." With careful steps, Ethan guided the alien toward the gate. The alien stumbled several times, and Ethan had to support it, holding it gently under the arm. Once inside, they led it to a small medical bay where Dr. Kevin Moore was waiting. The alien's breathing was shallow, and its body shook uncontrollably. Dr. Moore adjusted his instruments and looked at Ethan. "We need to stabilize it first. Whatever species this is, it's terrified, and possibly injured." Ethan nodded. "It came from the north, the battlefields. Looked like it had been running for a long time." The alien's large eyes darted around the room, taking in the humans with fear and awe. "Danger! Humans! They fight! Like gods!" it whispered, clutching at its chest. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "Like gods?" he asked. The alien nodded violently. "Yes, yes, humans cannot be defeated. We lost all." Dr. Moore frowned. "It's speaking in fragments. It might be in shock." Ethan knelt closer. "It's okay. You're safe here. We won't hurt you. Can you tell us your name?" "Corlin," the alien finally managed, its voice trembling. "Corlin. Fleet. Destroyed. Humans strong." Ethan exchanged a look with Sarah. "A fleet? You mean your people were at war with us?" Corlin's head shook, large black eyes wide. "War. Humans. Too much. We failed." The human officers moved closer, curiosity and concern mixed on their faces. Corlin's trembling body and fearful expressions were convincing, and it was clear he was telling the truth, or at least as much as he could. Ethan gestured for Sarah and Dr. Moore to give them some space. "Corlin," he said softly, "we want to understand. Can you tell us what happened?" The alien's voice was barely audible. We attacked. Thought humans weak. We were wrong. Every battle. Humans adapt. Humans fight. Like fire. Destroy. Everything. Ethan frowned. Like fire? Corlin nodded, then shivered violently. We watched. Friends. Die. Cannot stop. Humans. Too strong. Too fast. Sarah knelt beside Ethan. He's terrified. Maybe we should give him food, water, something to calm him. Ethan nodded. Do it. He handed a small container of liquid to Corlin. The alien sniffed it, then sipped carefully, eyes never leaving Ethan's face. After a moment, he set it down and whispered, Humans? Never surrender. Never. Ethan thought about that. Humans were known for resilience, for refusing to give up even in hopeless situations. That quality had carried their species through centuries of conflict and survival. But hearing an alien admit it with fear made it real in a way that no history book or report could. Dr. Moore examined Corlin with his portable scanner. Physically, he's not badly hurt, mostly exhaustion and dehydration, but psychologically, he's experienced trauma. Severe trauma. Ethan nodded. I figured as much, but there's more than trauma here. He's scared, not just scared, terrified. Corlin's eyes glistened. You, humans, fight. For everything. Life. Family. Nothing. Stops. Humans. His words were broken, but the meaning was clear. Ethan's mind wandered. If humans could inspire such fear in a species that had probably fought countless wars across the galaxy, what did that mean for humanity's place in the stars? He felt a strange mix of pride and caution. Humans were strong, yes, but this also meant that their enemies would always fear them and plan accordingly. Tell me, Corlin, Ethan said gently, what happened to your fleet? Corlin lowered his head. Destroyed. All humans adapt. Humans fight. Never. He shook, and tears, or the alien equivalent, fell from his eyes. We thought we could win, but humans. Sarah placed a comforting hand on Ethan's shoulder. We need to know everything. It could help us avoid future conflicts, or even save lives. Ethan nodded. Yes, but first he needs to recover a little. No pressure, just calm, safe, and quiet. Over the next few hours, Corlin slowly regained some composure. He ate small amounts of food, drank water, and allowed the humans to tend to him. His fear remained, but it was no longer immediate panic. As evening fell, the human base took on a quiet routine. Soldiers repaired machinery and vehicles, while Ethan and Sarah kept watch. Corlin sat quietly in the corner, staring at the horizon. Occasionally, he muttered words that the translator picked up. Humans, strong, never stop, fight. Ethan approached him cautiously. Corlin, we're not your enemies. You can tell us everything. The alien looked up slowly, eyes wide and serious. I must tell humans truth about war. Humans never defeated. No one has. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. This was more than just an alien in fear. This was a witness to the power of humanity, admitting what humans themselves often forgot. They were a force unlike any other in the galaxy. Sarah whispered beside him. Do you think he's exaggerating? Ethan shook his head. No, I've seen humans fight. I've been in battles, but hearing it from someone who faced us and lived, it changes everything. Corlin's voice shook again. I saw. We lost everything. Because humans fight. Impossible. Unstoppable. Ethan sat beside him, keeping his tone calm. Then tell us everything. Start from the beginning. Your fleet, your plans, everything that happened before you came here. Corlin took a deep, trembling breath. I will, but Humans, prepare for what I say. Truth. Humans, like fire. Ethan nodded. We're ready. For the first time in hours, Corlin seemed to settle slightly. He looked at Ethan and Sarah, his black eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and relief. We thought humans could be defeated. We were wrong. Everything lost. Because humans never surrender. Ethan felt the weight of those words. He realized this was only the beginning. Corlin's story would reveal truths about humans that most people in the galaxy did not know. And when humans heard it, they would understand something they already felt in their hearts. They were more powerful, more determined, and more dangerous than anyone had dared imagine. Outside, the twin suns of Zithera sank low, casting long shadows across the barren landscape. Inside the base, a terrified alien named Corlin prepared to tell the story of the humans who could not be defeated, and the humans listened, knowing that their place in the galaxy was both feared and inevitable. Ethan leaned back and let out a slow breath. Whatever came next, humanity would be ready. Corlin sat in the corner of the base, his thin arms hugging his knees. The pale light from the medical bay flickered across his pale green skin. Ethan Blake and Lieutenant Sarah Hill sat across from him, their faces serious but patient. Dr. Kevin Moore had stepped out to check on the other soldiers, leaving the alien alone with the two humans. "You said humans fight like fire," Ethan began. "I want to understand. Can you tell us exactly what happened? From the start?" Corlin's large black eyes blinked slowly. He took a deep, shuddering breath. My fleet, we thought humans weak. Few ships, weak weapons, easy to destroy. We were wrong." Sarah leaned forward. "How many ships did you have?" "Hundreds," Corlin whispered. "Fast ships, sharp weapons. We thought humans unprepared. We attacked first, confident. We would win. But humans. He shook, his body trembling. Ethan nodded slowly. "Start with the first battle. Tell us what happened." Corlin closed his eyes for a moment, remembering. "We approached. A small human system, not many planets. Easy target. We sent scouts first. They disappeared. No trace. Thought humans hiding. So we sent attack fleet. Strong. Fast. We thought we could crush them in one strike. Humans. They fought back?" Sarah asked. "Yes, fought back. Not like we expected. Humans. Adapt. Every move. We planned. They countered. Unexpected. Clever. We lost. Scouts first. Then main fleet. Humans. Humans never stop." Ethan exchanged a look with Sarah. "So humans plan nothing, yet still beat you?" Corlin's head shook violently. "No. Humans plan, but not like us. They think, they watch, they wait, then strike, precise, deadly, destroy. Impossible to predict. We lost. Everyone, all gone. Humans." Sarah's voice dropped. "So one human system destroyed hundreds of your ships?" Corlin nodded slowly. "Yes, and humans don't stop, even when cornered, even when weak. We thought humans would surrender. They never—" Ethan leaned back, letting the words sink in. He had heard rumors of humans' ability to survive impossible odds, but hearing it from a terrified alien made it real. "Did you fight more humans after that?" Corlin's eyes darkened. "We tried in other systems, more fleets, bigger ships, stronger weapons. Humans always adapt, always survive, every battle, more lost. We hide, we run. Humans chase," Sarah whispered. "How can one species be like this?" Corlin tilted his head, voice barely a whisper. "Humans fight for everything. Life, family, world. They never surrender, never retreat." Even when hopeless, humans, Ethan asked slowly. Were there special weapons? Something that destroyed your fleets? Corlin shook his head. No, no special weapons. Humans, only humans. Clever, brave, fast, impossible. We cannot fight. Like them, humans. Sarah's eyes widened. You're saying humans beat you? Just with their minds and determination? Corlin nodded. Yes. Strategy, courage, fear. They do not feel fear like us. We run, humans stand, fight, until victory. Humans never die, not easily. Ethan felt a chill. This was not just a warning, it was proof. Humans had strength beyond anything the galaxy imagined. Corlin's trembling, terrified voice was a testament to that. Corlin leaned forward, his voice breaking. We tried alliances, other species, bigger fleets, more weapons, humans adapt. Every time, humans learn, every mistake we make, humans use against us, humans unstoppable. Sarah asked softly. Did you see humans personally, on planets? Corlin nodded. Yes. We landed, small groups, thought humans, few soldiers, easy, humans fight, humans strong, stronger than fleet, humans clever, destroy everything. We lost everything, Ethan asked quietly. Did anyone survive from your side? Corlin's head dropped. Few. Only me. Escaped. Saw humans destroy everyone. Humans never stop. Humans. Sarah swallowed. And this is why you came here? Corlin's eyes met hers, wide and fearful. Yes. Worn. Humans. Too strong. Never underestimate humans. Everyone. All lost. Humans. Ethan's mind raced. If humans were this strong, it explained a lot. How they had survived in a galaxy full of powerful enemies. How they always managed to rise, even when faced with overwhelming odds. He felt pride, but also concern. If other species underestimated humans, it could lead to war, and humans would always fight back. Corlin continued, his voice shaking. We thought humans weak, easy. We were wrong. We thought humans surrender. Humans fight, never stop. Humans. Sarah leaned forward. Can you give us an example? One battle, one fight? What humans did that scared your people? Corlin closed his eyes and trembled. Yes, one system, attacked, humans, few ships, we, many, strong, humans adapt, we thought, humans, easy, humans, destroyed, fleet, one strike, humans, clever, unexpected, humans, fight, like fire, impossible, we lost, all, Ethan asked gently. Were humans organized like your fleets? Corlin shook his head. No, humans, different, think different, move, different, humans, fight, together, smart, fast, impossible, destroy, all, Sarah whispered. So humans don't need numbers to win? Corlin nodded. Yes, small groups, humans, stronger than fleets, stronger than many. Humans, fight, impossible, unstoppable. Ethan felt a strange mix of awe and fear. Humans had survived for thousands of years, not because they were the largest or strongest in the galaxy, but because they never gave up. They adapted, learned, and always found a way. And now, hearing it from Corlin, it became real. Corlin leaned back, exhausted. We thought humans, like others, we underestimated humans. Humans cannot be defeated. Humans. Sarah looked at Ethan. Do you believe him? Ethan nodded slowly. I do. I've fought alongside humans. I've seen what they can do. but hearing it from someone who faced them as an enemy. It's terrifying. Corlin looked between them. Humans never stop, never surrender, never... His voice was almost a whisper now. Ethan placed a hand on his shoulder. We understand, Corlin. We want to know more. Every detail, every battle, everything you saw. The alien trembled but nodded. I will tell humans truth. Humans fight like fire, impossible, unstoppable, never defeated, Sarah whispered softly. We should record everything. This is history. This is proof. Ethan agreed. Yes, every word, every story. The galaxy needs to know what humans are capable of. Corlin took a deep, shuddering breath. We attacked first, thought humans weak, easy, humans destroyed. All we ran, humans, never stop, humans. Ethan realized the weight of the alien's words. Humans were not just survivors. They were something more, something other species did not understand, something terrifying, even to those who tried to fight them. For the first time, Ethan understood why humans were feared across the galaxy, not because of weapons or fleets, but because of their spirit, their courage, their determination, their refusal to give up, even when everything seemed lost. Corlin's trembling continued, but his words flowed more easily now. We tried again, different systems, more fleets, stronger ships, humans adapt, humans fight, clever, unstoppable, impossible. We lost, all humans. Sarah leaned forward. Did humans ever show mercy? Corlin shook his head. No. Humans fight until victory. Humans do not stop. Humans never surrender. Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. He thought of every battle he had ever fought, every time humans had faced impossible odds and won. And now, hearing it from someone outside humanity, he understood the truth. Humans were more than just a species. They were a force, a fire. Something that could not be defeated easily. Corlin's voice grew softer, almost a whisper. We thought humans weak, easy, humans impossible, humans unstoppable, never defeated. Sarah put a hand on Ethan's arm. We need to share this, not just with the base, but with the rest of humanity. They need to know what they are capable of. Ethan nodded. Yes. But first, Corlin must rest. Then we will hear more. His story is not over. Corlin's large eyes blinked slowly. I will tell all humans fight like fire, never defeated. Outside, the twin suns of Zithera sank lower, painting the desert in red and gold. Inside the base, a terrified alien recounted the battles he had lost to humans. And humans listened, realizing that their place in the galaxy was more powerful and more feared than they had ever imagined. Ethan looked at Corlin and whispered, The galaxy doesn't know the truth yet, but we do. And we must be ready. Corlin's trembling continued, but there was a strange relief in his expression. He had told part of the story, and for the first time in a long time, he felt that someone might understand. Ethan and Sarah sat quietly as the alien spoke, knowing that this was only the beginning. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long, and soon, everyone would see why. Ethan Blake sat in the command center, looking at Corlin with a mix of curiosity and concern. The alien's trembling had slowed, but his fear was still evident. His story was not just about battles or fleets. It was about the spirit of humans, something that no technology or army could match. Ethan knew this part of Corlin's tale would be even more important than the battles themselves. Corlin, Ethan said gently, you have seen humans in war. You have seen what they can do, but you also warned us. What happens if we face more humans in the galaxy? What should other species expect? Corlin's large black eyes widened. He shivered as he spoke. Other species. They do not understand. Humans. Humans fight. Always. Fight. Never stop. Humans. Humans. Sarah Hill leaned closer. You're saying humans never stop fighting, even if the enemy is stronger? Yes, humans. Stronger, clever, fight together, adapt, learn, never surrender. Humans. Unstoppable. Impossible. Every battle, humans. Corlin paused, shivering. We thought we were clever. We thought we could win. Humans. Humans never stop. Ethan and Sarah listened carefully. They could feel the weight of Corlin's words. They were hearing a story not from human history, but from the perspective of someone who had tried and failed to defeat humanity. And that story was terrifying in its own way. Corlin spoke again, voice shaking. Humans, they fight for everything. Life, family, planet, humans. Do not fear, humans. Adapt, humans. Learn, humans. Destroy, if needed, humans. Always survive. Ethan realized Corlin was trying to explain something deeper than tactics or fleets. He was describing human nature, the determination, courage, and intelligence that made humans different from any other species in the galaxy. Sarah asked softly, "Did your species ever try to warn others about humans?" Corlin shook his head. "No, we thought humans weak, easy. Every species. Underestimated. Humans. Every time. Humans. Humans. Humans." Ethan frowned. "So the galaxy doesn't know what humans can do?" Corlin nodded slowly. "No. Most afraid. Some ignore. We learned. Humans. Unstoppable. Impossible. Every battle. Humans," Sarah whispered. "Then why are you here?" Corlin's voice trembled, but he spoke clearly. "I must warn humans. They never defeated. Humans. Unstoppable. Humans. Fight. Fire. Humans must know. Truth." Ethan leaned back, thinking. This wasn't just a story about humans' strength in battle. It was a warning. If other species tried to conquer humans, they would fail. They might not survive to tell the tale. Humanity was more than technology, more than ships or weapons. Humans were clever, brave, and relentless. Corlin continued, describing battles from other systems. "We tried other fleets, bigger weapons, stronger ships, more soldiers, humans, adapt, humans, clever, humans, always survive, impossible, unstoppable. We lost. All," Sarah asked. "How do humans fight differently from others?" Corlin's black eyes stared at her, wide with fear. "Humans do not fight like us. Humans think, plan, adapt, change. Humans use mistakes against enemy. Humans never predictable. Humans never surrender. Humans fight like fire." Ethan realized Corlin was giving them a kind of lesson. Not just about his people's failures, but about how humans themselves operated in war. Humans were clever, flexible, and fast. They learned from every battle and used everything at their disposal to win. Corlin shook slightly. "We tried every trick, every plan. Humans, humans, humans. Impossible, unstoppable. Humans. Fight, never give up. Humans, humans," Sarah whispered. "So humans don't just rely on numbers or weapons?" Corlin shook his head. "No, humans use mind, courage, plan, fight, together. Humans, never alone. Humans, unstoppable, impossible. We lost everything." Ethan leaned forward. "Can you tell us about a battle where humans surprised you the most?" Corlin closed his eyes, trembling. Yes, one system. Humans. Few ships. We. Hundreds. We. Attacked. Thought. Easy. Humans. Clever. Humans. Fight. Humans. Adapt. Destroy. Fleet. Alt. Humans. Fire. Humans. Never stop. Sarah shivered. And your people lost? Corlin nodded slowly. Yes. Everyone. Gone. Humans. Never defeated. Humans. Unstoppable. Impossible. Humans. Ethan realized that this wasn't just fear. Corlin was speaking truthfully about humans' abilities, their resilience, and their determination. It was a warning not just for his people, but for the galaxy. Corlin's voice grew quieter. We underestimated humans. Every time, humans fight clever, unstoppable, impossible. Humans never surrender. Humans, humans, humans. Sarah leaned closer. Did humans ever show mercy? Corlin shook his head. No, humans fight until victory. Humans do not stop. Humans never surrender. Humans unstoppable. Humans. Ethan closed his eyes, thinking. Humans had survived impossible odds not because of technology, but because of their spirit, their courage, their intelligence. And their will to survive made them a force no enemy could easily defeat. Corlin's voice shook, but he continued. We tried alliances, other species, bigger fleets, stronger weapons, humans, clever, humans, fight, every battle, humans, never defeated, humans, unstoppable, impossible, humans, Sarah whispered. So humans are not just strong, they are unbeatable in a way? Corlin nodded slowly. Yes, humans. Never stop. Never surrender. Humans. Fight. Clever. Adapt. Impossible. Unstoppable. Humans. Ethan realized this was the most important lesson from Corlin. Humans were not just fighters. They were strategists, survivors, and innovators. They could overcome any obstacle because they never gave up. Corlin's trembling grew stronger. We thought humans. Weak. Easy. Humans. Impossible. Humans. Unstoppable. Humans. Never defeated. Humans. Fight. Fire. Sarah looked at Ethan. We need to record this. This is proof. Corlin's story, it's evidence of humanity's strength. Ethan nodded. Yes, and we need to learn from it. We cannot underestimate what humans are capable of. Not ever. Corlin's large black eyes met Ethan's. Humans. Never surrender. Humans. Fight like fire. Humans. Unstoppable. Humans. Ethan leaned back. We understand, Corlin. We know the truth now, and we will be ready. The alien trembled, but there was a small relief in his expression. He had begun to tell the story, and for the first time, he felt someone would understand. Corlin continued to speak through the night, recounting battles, strategies, and moments when humans had surprised his people. Each story was a warning, a lesson, and a testament to humanity's strength. Ethan and Sarah listened, taking notes, understanding the scale of what Corlin was saying. By dawn, the first sun rose over Zithera, casting long shadows across the desert. Corlin sat quietly, exhausted, but calmer. Ethan looked at him and said, We have learned a lot from you. Thank you, Corlin. But we need to know more. Every detail matters. Corlin nodded slowly. I will tell truth. Humans. Fight. Never defeated. Unstoppable. Impossible. Humans. Sarah whispered. This will change everything. Other species. Even the Council. They will understand humans differently now. Ethan agreed. Yes, Corlin's warning. It's not just for us. It's for the galaxy. Humans are strong. Humans are clever. Humans are unstoppable. Corlin's voice trembled as he spoke his last words before resting. We thought humans, weak, easy, humans, unstoppable, impossible, humans, never defeated, humans. Ethan and Sarah sat in silence for a moment, letting the weight of Corlin's words sink in. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long, and now, through the testimony of a terrified alien, they understood why humans were feared. Outside, the desert winds of Zithera blew softly. Inside, the humans listened, knowing that their strength, their courage, and their determination were more powerful than anyone had realized. And Corlin's warning would echo across the stars. Underestimate humans, and it would be your greatest mistake. The sun had risen high over Zithera, turning the desert into a bright, harsh expanse of orange and gold. Ethan Blake walked slowly through the base, thinking about Corlin's words. The alien's testimony was heavy in his mind. Humans had always known their strength, their courage, and their determination. But hearing it from someone who had faced them as an enemy and survived made it real. Sarah Hill joined him, carrying a small data tablet. "I've compiled Corlin's story into reports," she said quietly. "Every battle, every tactic, every moment he mentioned humans as unstoppable. This is serious, Ethan. The galaxy will never look at humans the same way." Ethan nodded. "Yes, Corlin warned us, but he also reminded us. Humans are clever, adaptable, and relentless. We can survive anything, but other species will fear us more now. They will plan carefully. They will test us, and we must be ready." Back in the medical bay, Corlin sat quietly, staring at the floor. His body was still thin and trembling, but he seemed calmer than before. Ethan approached him slowly. "Corlin," Ethan said gently, "you have told us a lot, but there is still more. You have seen humans fight in many ways. You have seen their courage. Tell us more about what they do that makes them unstoppable." The alien lifted his head slowly, eyes wide. "Humans, they do not give up. Even when cornered, even when hopeless. Humans, think, adapt, use every mistake. Humans, fight. Together, clever. Humans, impossible to defeat. Humans, unstoppable. Humans." Ethan leaned closer. "Can you tell us about the way humans use teamwork? About how they adapt?" Corlin's trembling hands folded over his knees. "Yes, humans, small groups, few soldiers, fight like many. Humans, adapt, every battle, learn. Humans, use every weakness. Humans, clever, impossible, unstoppable. Humans," Sarah whispered. "This is more than courage. Humans are strategic, even in desperate situations." Corlin nodded slowly. "Yes, humans, never alone, always plan, always fight. Humans, clever. Humans, fire. Humans, unstoppable. Humans." Ethan thought about all the battles he had fought, both on Earth and in space. Humans had survived ambushes, attacks, betrayals, and overwhelming odds. They had always adapted, always fought back, and always survived. And Corlin's testimony confirmed it. Humans were unlike any other species. Corlin's voice grew quieter. We thought humans, weak, easy. Humans, impossible. Humans, unstoppable. Humans, never defeated. Humans, fight, fire. Humans." Ethan placed a hand on Corlin's shoulder. "We understand. Your story is a warning and a lesson. The galaxy must respect humans, but we also learn from this. We must be careful. We must plan. Humans fight, but humans can also protect themselves and others." Corlin blinked slowly. "Yes, humans, protect, fight, fire, never stop. Humans, unstoppable. Humans." Sarah looked at Ethan. "If other species hear this, they will change their plans. Some will avoid humans entirely. Others may try. But they will fail. Ethan nodded. And we will be ready. Humanity will always survive. That is the lesson here. Humans are not just soldiers. They are smart. They are brave. They are unstoppable. Corlin's large black eyes stared at them, almost with relief. I have warned humans. Impossible. Unstoppable. Never defeated humans. Ethan smiled slightly. You have done your part, Corlin. Now the rest is up to us. Humanity will carry on, stronger than before, ready for whatever comes. Corlin leaned back, trembling less. He closed his eyes for a moment. Humans, fire, humans, fight, humans. Never stop, impossible. Unstoppable, humans. Outside the base, the desert winds of Zithara blew softly. The human soldiers went about their work, unaware of the weight of Corlin's story. Ethan and Sarah sat quietly, knowing that the galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. Corlin, Ethan said, you have given us a gift. You have shown us the truth about humans. We will share it, but we will also remember it. Humans are clever, brave, and unstoppable, and now the galaxy knows it too. The alien nodded slowly. Yes, humans, unstoppable, impossible, fight, never, defeated. Humans, Sarah whispered. It's amazing. Humans are more than a species. They are a force. Ethan agreed. And that force will protect Earth, their worlds, and the galaxy. Humans will survive. Humans will win. Humans will never stop. Corlin's trembling finally slowed. He looked at Ethan and Sarah, a strange mixture of fear and respect in his large black eyes. I have seen humans, never defeated, unstoppable, impossible, fight, fire, humans. Ethan leaned back, letting the words sink in. Corlin had faced humanity and survived. And now humans knew that their strength was real, and their place in the galaxy was secure. Sarah looked out at the desert. We should report this to command. The galaxy must understand. Humans cannot be underestimated ever again. Ethan nodded. Yes, Corlin's story will be recorded, shared, and remembered. Humans are clever, brave, and unstoppable. That is the truth, and the galaxy will see it soon enough. Corlin's voice was soft now. Humans, fight, never stop. Humans, unstoppable, impossible. Humans, never defeated. Humans. Ethan smiled faintly. We understand, Corlin, and we will honor your warning. Humanity will always survive, always fight, and always win when needed. Outside, the twin suns of Zithara began to set, painting the desert in red and gold. Inside the base, humans listened, learned, and understood. The galaxy had underestimated humanity for too long, and now, with Corlin's warning, they knew the truth. Corlin's eyes closed slowly. He had told the story. He had warned them, and for the first time in a long time, he felt that someone understood. Ethan and Sarah walked through the base, looking at their soldiers, their ships, and their equipment. Humans were ready. Humans were clever. Humans were brave. Humans were unstoppable. And the galaxy, whether it knew it yet or not, would learn this truth soon. Any species that underestimated humans would face the same fate as Corlin's fleet, and humanity would survive. Corlin's trembling slowed further. He had shared the warning. The humans had understood. And the future, though uncertain, would always have one constant: the fire of humanity, unstoppable, clever, and brave. Ethan looked at the horizon, thinking of the battles that awaited in the stars. Humans had survived worse. Humans had always fought back. Humans had never stopped. And now, with Corlin's warning, the galaxy would remember that humanity was not to be challenged lightly. Sarah stood beside him quietly. The story of humans. It's more than power. It's spirit, determination, fire. Ethan nodded. Exactly. And that fire will never go out. No one can defeat it. Not now, not ever. Corlin whispered softly, almost to himself. Humans, never defeated. Unstoppable. Impossible. Humans. Fight. Fire. And outside the base, under the twin suns of Zithra, humans continued their work. They repaired, they trained, and they prepared. For Corlin had told them the truth, and humanity understood its place in the galaxy. They were clever, brave, and unstoppable, and any enemy that faced them would learn that lesson, sooner or later. The sun sank lower, the shadows stretching across the desert. But inside the base, a new understanding had risen. Humans were not just survivors. They were a force, a fire, a warning to the galaxy, and nothing, no fleet, no army, no alien species could ever stop them. Corlin closed his eyes finally, trembling gone. He had told the story, and humanity had listened. Ethan Blake stood silently for a moment, thinking about the galaxy, the battles, and the future. Humans had survived countless threats, adapted to every challenge, and now, armed with the knowledge of how fearsome they truly were, they would continue to rise. Sarah looked at him quietly. The galaxy will know soon enough. Humans are unstoppable. Ethan nodded. Yes, and they always will be. Outside, the desert winds carried the sound of quiet determination. Humanity's story was just beginning, and any species that challenged it would learn the truth the hard way. Humans fought, humans adapted, humans survived, humans never surrendered, and humans were unstoppable.